Hello Sagittarius, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is a bonus read. Thank you, my fire family, for all the ways that you love me, for bringing me all those views, clicks. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. If you're somebody who's never been here before, welcome. We have a pretty big Sag tribe here, and I'm part of that Sag tribe. So thank you so much for all the ways that you love me here. Let's get on to a bonus read. I am going to read for the current or the future energy. I don't plan on reading for anything going on back there. I'm going to try not to dip into it. If your perception is that I am, maybe that's your perception. But let's find out. Let's find out what's going on here. Tell me what's going on, because I tell you, these readings are getting crazier and crazier with all this eclipse energy. September is going to be a month of change. All right, here we go. 9 of Wands. Sagittarius, we start with your energy. 9 of Wands. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the 2 of Swords in the reverse. This Page of Swords and this 9 of Wands is telling me that you've really been going over the past in detail. It feels as though you are about to drop your burdens and you no longer want to be the person who is just surviving. It's time now for you to thrive. The Page of Swords is digging up information. Is the student, is the one who is observing. And if you look, you can see that the page is looking over at the 9 of Wands, and the person on the 9 of Wands is looking at how long they've been sitting here at the 9 of Wands. It feels like you don't want to drop something or release something, but I feel like you're going to have to, because we've got a full moon on this card, and we've got a full moon coming up on Sunday, and it is an eclipse. It's a full moon in Pisces, but it is an eclipse, and it feels like with the 2 of Swords in the reverse that you're releasing something. And it's something that has been breaking your heart, or something that has been making you sad or disappointed. But I feel like the page is observing all of the wands and all of the time that you've been sitting here for fear of not dropping the burdens. It's like you'll disappoint someone, something, a situation. When you drop these burdens and you're done and you're no longer in this energy of survival mode, there's going to be people in your life who do not benefit from that. It feels like you're about to let something go after observing it from a distance for a while. Tell me more about Sagittarius. We've got the Ace of Wands. There it is. That's the only wand we needed in order for you to release all of these heavy things that you've been carrying. For some of you, I'll just say that with the 3 of Pentacles, it tells me that maybe it's debt. It could be financial debt that you're releasing, that you're really looking over the reasons and the reasons why you got into the financial debt in the first place. It feels like somebody here, if we are talking about financial debt, we'll just hit on that for a moment because the 3 of Pentacles is here, which tells me someone is like building their credit, or, you know, I'm building by working really intricately, really hard. I'm just building. So I want to say that with the Ace of Wands being here with the 9 of Wands, that's 10 wands. And so what is going on here is that you are at the very beginning of building something, or building a foundation to something, because you let something else go. So I'll say it feels like it is pentacle related. So something that has been in your wheelhouse. This could be a friendship or a friend group or a friend of a friend. And it feels like the 2 of Swords in the reverse is telling me I'm just releasing this because I no longer feel like I want to be part of the network, part of the community. This could mean that you're moving for sure. But it does feel like this release is something that you've needed for a while, and you've been looking at the Page of Swords has been looking over at the 9 of Wands for a while, thinking if I release the people, the issue, the thing, the situation, the friend group, if I release it and I go on my own, then what? What happens then? Tell me why the Page of Swords is here. Because it feels like you're learning a lesson. The Page is a student. And you're learning something intellectually or something in the mind. It's like you're trying to imprint it on the mind because you're about to make a decision here that's going to change everything. We've got a bunch of butterflies around the page here. So you are about to make a decision that is going to change everything. And maybe you don't know it's going to change everything. I think that right now the step that you need to take right now, Sag, is to just drop these burdens here, whether they are financial burdens, friendships that are not working out for you. It feels like there is some sort of big change coming here. We've got the Hierophant energy. We've got the Eight of Swords. And we've got the High Priestess. Look, it's really beautiful when the Page of Swords and the Hierophant show up together, because when the student is ready, that's when the teacher appears. And so I want to say, Sag, that I feel like up to here that you weren't willing to let something go. And because for the fear of losing friendships over it, or losing ties, network people in your community, you were not willing to put down the burdens you were carrying. But I feel like when the Hierophant is here with the Page of Swords, it's because I'm lending you spiritual help or stability, or I'm showing you that how much you've grown. It feels like you are on a path of your own because the Fool is here, and with the Hierophant, it feels like you are up in your head about making a really big decision. It's worrying you, in fact, to go with your intuition. There's something here you're about to do. It might be a decision that you're making. You're releasing one thing in favor of another, but it feels like you are about to make a decision that nobody thought you would make. But I feel like for this particular moment in time, you're showing up as the Hierophant because you know that you need to do the right thing, the thing that's right for you, and that you are, I just want to say, Sag, that you're a person who is really kind and really loving, but somebody who also believes in solid structures and foundations. And you always make sure that everyone else around you has what they need, but it's time for you. It's time for you to listen to your intuition and stop worrying about what everybody's going to think about this decision that you're about to make for yourself, because I don't think everybody's going to be happy with you. Tell me about this Two of Swords in the reverse. I think the decision's already made. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Moon. And we have the Four of Cups. So it feels like what we're letting go of are memories. I feel like you have been doing shadow work and you've been stuck deep in some sort of dark depressive state possibly, or in this place of arguing with yourself about making decisions about how to release somebody who's deeply tucked away in your memory bank. The Six of Cups tells me that, you know, this is somebody that I feel that you thought of as family, or a soulmate, or a last life connection. Look, it could even be a twin that you've decided, I just got to let that shit go. Because you've come to a realization of the Four of Cups. I will be stuck here forever. If I don't get out of this Moon energy, I will be stuck here forever. So it feels like, Sag, that you're about to make some sort of really big decision through intuition to go out on some sort of a path alone, stable and secure, but to do the right thing for yourself. And I think it's really necessary. We've got the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's someone or somebody that has been breadcrumbing you here. Ah, look, the Ten of Wands shows up. So you know, like the Queen of Pentacles is facing the Ten of Wands. You know that you've been carrying all of the financial burden or all of the stability, the worries of stability. It feels like there's been somebody in your life here. It could be a group of people Because of the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, it could be a group of people, or the Six of Pentacles, that are no longer serving you as your friendships. And it feels like it's because ultimately what you're realizing here is that you've been breadcrumbed, and you've been settling for breadcrumbs. Queen of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. You've been settling for breadcrumbs. You've been giving your all. You've been giving whatever you can give, taking care, being kind, being doting. And I feel like you can't do that anymore. It's becoming too heavy. So I feel like you're about to release somebody or a situation. For some of you, it's a feeling, a heavy, dark feeling that you've been holding in. And it feels like you're about to experience relief, but only for those of you who are brave enough to let it go. I think it's going to be better for your health, because the Queen of Pentacles isn't only financial abundance, but is also health, wealth. I'm planting my own garden so I can eat from the garden and not have to worry about my health. Like, it feels like you are stepping into the Queen of Pentacles energy and saying, no more. I can't do this anymore. I need stability for me, and therefore I've got to let go of the things that make me unstable. And I think that one of the things that makes you unstable is the Six of Pentacles. There are people around you who have been breadcrumbing you, and it's time for you to let that go. The Fool is here with the Three of Pentacles, and I feel like this Page of Swords has been looking over the friend list, saying, who am I going to let go of? It's time for me to release all of this, and it's time for me to step out into the new chapter. Look, we have a full moon coming on Sunday. This is full moon energy. You're on the path, like you're this close to just releasing someone, something, maybe a job, with all these pentacles here. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Four of Wands. And we've got the Three of Swords. Gosh, your family's not going to be happy. Whatever decision you're making that's best for you, there are people within these Four Wands that are not going to be happy for you. These are people, like, this doesn't have to be family, but I have a feeling for some of you it is. And the Four of Wands is a place of celebration. So maybe you're selling the house and moving out of state or moving away, because it feels like people are going to feel heartbroken, because that's where the heart is. So maybe you're somebody who's decided, I'm just going to sell the family home. Maybe there's no reason to hang on to it any longer. It feels like the Knight of Cups here. It tells me that the Knight of Cups is like, I'm taking the leap with the Fool. It's exciting for me because I'm building something new or something else, but also it makes me feel like you're letting go of the old stuff. The Knight of Cups is the heart space. It's like the heart space is within the Four of Wands. This is the place where we meet. This is our meeting place. You could be selling a business, but it feels like not everybody in the family is going to be very happy with you, because this Three of Swords is here, because you've already made the decision and you didn't check with anybody else. And I'm not saying you needed to. I don't think that you needed to check with anybody else. Tell me about this Fool and the Ace of Wands, because you're taking a leap of faith here, and it's going to make you very, very happy. You're so excited for the creativity, for the passion. This is something I've never done before. Like, it feels like you're making a really big decision to take a leap of faith, and the people who are around you aren't going to be happy. Nope, they're not going to be happy. They're going to say to you, you're doing this too quickly. What are you doing? What do you mean you're moving next week? That's what it looks like. The Eight of Cups is here. And I think that this is a decision that you're making under the full moon, because we got a full moon, we got a full moon, we got a full moon. It feels like it's a decision that you're making under the full moon. And the Knight of Wands is the quick energy, which could be the eclipse, right? We're eclipsing something that other people have become familiar with as their stability, as their happiness. It's like you've been providing happiness and stability for others for so long, and now you are going out on your own, and they're going to say, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, have you lost your mind? Like, are you okay? Are you okay, Sag? Like the Eight of Cups is here. You're disconnecting. You're like, no, detachment. I've got to release something and let it go. It's got to not be emotional. And they're saying, but you're doing this too fast. How come all of a sudden you're doing this? And the Eight of Wands is here. It's moving too fast. Everyone else around you is not prepared for it, but I think you've been thinking about it for a while. What are we talking about here? Tell me about the Eight of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. You've been thinking about selling the house or the business for a really long time. Years even. And now you're finally just going to say it. But man, they're not going to be happy. But listen, you're doing the best thing for you. But the people around you who have been benefiting for you staying stuck where you were and not moving anywhere, those are the people that are going to be unhappy for you. And so here we sit with the Nine of Wands. And so now I understand why you're sitting here with the Nine of Wands looking at it like, I'm about to blow the doors off of the lives of other people by making this decision. And it's a hard decision to make. But you either make the decision and hurt people's feelings, or you don't make the decision and you stay stuck at the Nine of Wands. Because look, ivy grows on things that have been sitting there for centuries, decades. Like ivy grows on castles, you know what I mean, that have been standing for hundreds of years. It feels like you've been sitting here looking at this wand, this Ace of Wands. You've been sitting here looking at this like, I don't know if I should. It's going to blow the doors off of something. Oh boy, but you have to. You have to. There's no way around it. You've got to do it. And it's going to break people. It's going to break people. Yeah, they're going to be upset with you. The Wheel of Fortune is here. This is destiny, and you can't fight the change because you've been holding back as long as you can, but the new cycle is here. And with this Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo energy, you've been holding back, because that's like fixed energy. And Sagittarius energy also, right? This is Jupiter energy. So your expansion is here, and you're taking one last look at this wand saying, oh God, now I got to deal with this. We've got the Four of Pentacles, and we've got the Page of Pentacles. So I think you're going to keep it under wraps until which time it's time to reveal something to other people. It feels like you are holding back. You are fighting yourself. Like you are doing whatever you can. You really do feel like you are all of it and you can pull yourself back from the Wheel of Fortune. But I'm telling you, Four of Pentacles are not. You're holding back, and I feel like you just can't hold back any longer because that's Major Arcana energy, my friend. Card number 10. I could be talking about something that happens in October or something to do with a 10. 10s break down to a 1 though, and 1s are about something that's brand new, and the Page of Pentacles shows up. So it feels like there is something here that you've been wanting to do for a while, and now you're finally bringing it to fruition. What is this? We've got the Page of Cups. Oh, we've got the Lovers. Queen of Cups. Okay. It tells me here that possibly it might be because there is the influence of a lover. You might be selling the home. You might be moving. You might be quitting the job. You might be leaving the friend group because this is something that I feel that you've wanted forever. Whoops. Look at that. Yikes. So we could be talking about somebody who's Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Of course, we've got all this water energy here, but mostly what I want to say about this, Sag, is I feel like the reason that you are leaving whatever you're leaving behind, I don't know what it is, okay? Whatever it is that you're leaving behind is the Three of Pentacles. It's something you've built as a foundation. And so I think that the reason that you're leaving it is this, because somebody here is someone that you know is destined. Like there is somebody here that you have this psychic, intuitive connection with, and this person is asking you to leave your life as it is. And I think that the reason you're doing it is because this is destiny, and you know that it's destined, and I feel like this is something you're doing for yourself, but other people are not going to be happy because it's going to require you breaking down the foundation that they've been hanging out on for a while, whether that's a house or money or whatever it is. Their lives are about to change because you're about to take a leap of faith here. Tell me what the outcome is here. Oh boy. Judgment, strength, 10 of Cups. What? Sag, I'm telling you, this is like amazing energy for you. But I'm saying that in a bittersweet energy here, because the Strength card is here, and you've held yourself back from the Ten of Cups for most of your life because everyone else needed a piece of you. But the Judgment card is here, and you're being asked to be reborn, or you're having some sort of an awakening because the Fool and the Judgment are here together. Maybe somebody's come back and asked you to marry them or have a commitment with them. So it feels like this Judgment card here is something brand new, a brand new path. It's like you were going straight down the road and then took a right or took a left. And it feels like that you've been holding yourself back from happiness, this ultimate apex of happiness. Ten of Cups, man. That's why it's called Ten of Cups Tarot, friends. Yeah. So I feel like you've been holding yourself back from your own happiness in order to serve others. But no more. Oh, this is so beautiful, but tragically beautiful. You're now in the most attractive energy you've ever been. You're in temperance. The two queens are here, fire and water. You're in temperance. You're healing. You're healed. Or you're still in the process of healing. And things are growing. And you're about to make the biggest, boldest move of your life. And the people around you are not going to be happy. But the Queen of Wands is somebody who's been through so much. So listen, come here, closer. Look, if you're the one who has been serving others and you have not served yourself, you're going to have an opportunity to do that. And it could be with a person that you know that your heart space is attached to. And I think that you are about to take a step out of the life that you had built and step into the life that you want. And it's about to blow everything in half for everyone else around you. Because you're about to sell the home or leave the friend group or maybe leave a relationship. I'm just saying, look at that. The Death card is here. Ooh, boy. You've grown up to be the Empress. You've changed. You've totally leveled up. And now it's time for you to take this spark and fan the flames. Yeah. There we go. You're going to get balance, friend. You're doing the right thing for you. You're doing the right thing for you, whatever that thing is. It looks like you're closing an old chapter of your life in order to get some balance. You have someone here who wants to take care of you, who wants to love on you. Yeah. And somebody who wants to possibly have a reunion or a reconciliation. And I think that you're going to take it. And I think that it's going to change everything. And I'm just very excited for you. And for some of you, I feel this angst of, but everything I built, this person's asking me to leave everything I built. But understand that this is like a chance of a lifetime, whether it's a love or a job or whatever it is. This is a chance of a lifetime because the Wheel of Fortune is here. This is a destined chance of a lifetime. And you've already made your decision, but now you're going to keep it quiet until you tell everybody else. Because the Empress would do that, would try and keep balance with everybody else until the moment of the reveal. Yep. I'm going to leave that right there. Thanks, Sagittarius, for coming here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to be back because I'm always back. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.